Last week, I shared with you the success of a client's event, Everyday Heroes, and the keynote speaker at this event was James Lawrence, otherwise known as the Iron Cowboy. He was incredibly powerful, and his story inspired me in many ways, and so I wanted to share with you some of my key takeaways from his talk. James Lawrence, or the Iron Cowboy, he accomplished something that had never been accomplished before. And he did 50 Ironmans in 50 states in 50 days. Now just imagine that for a second. I think we would all agree that somebody who accomplishes one Ironman in a lifetime is an incredible achievement. 50 Ironmans, 50 states, 50 days. And he shared a little bit about his journey and what it took to accomplish that. And some of the key things that I took away from it was, first of all, he talked about the power of the mind throughout his entire journey. That yes, it was absolutely a physical challenge, but what he had to master was that little voice inside his head. He was so clear to state that that little voice never goes away. And that's so important for all of us to remember, that we can look at other people's successes and think, well, they do that without any fear, without any doubt, without any self-criticism. And that's absolutely not true. It's how we learn to manage that voice and give the power to the part of us and our dream and the part of us that really wants to do that and why we want to do that, and to be able to override that self-critical voice, the voice that says, hey, now would be a good time to quit. It would be much easier. And he would say that voice was very convincing, and it would take everything within him to override that and to connect back to his passion and his why. And one of the things that really helped him to do that was he surrounded himself with people that also believed in the vision. He said, at first I went to talk to doctors and asked them what they thought, and they laughed at him and said, it's impossible, you'll die. So he said, I stopped talking to doctors. And instead, I talked to other people that could get behind this idea. And I stopped looking for what could go wrong, and I started to solve problems. I love that. Solution-based thinking versus problem-based thinking. What could go wrong? How could I fail? We have a tendency to look for that type of information. He said instead, I became a problem solver. This is something that could go wrong. Okay, how could we solve that? And it was years and years of preparation of solving problems that ultimately got him to his goal. He said something else that really struck me. He said, I was grateful for the opportunity to suffer. Grateful for the opportunity to suffer. He suffered. He suffered physically, he suffered emotionally, but he recognized and he was able to see that it's through the hard times that we grow. It's through those challenging times that we grow, that we stretch ourselves. So when he can be grateful, and when you and I can be grateful for the hard times, for the struggle, for the problems, for the challenges, not because we want to be in struggle, not because we want to be in overwhelm, but for the potential growth that can come from that. Knowing that that's how we expand ourselves. It's through the challenge. He was also very quick to remind us all that everybody's hard is different. For you, your hard might be getting out of bed today and putting your best foot forward. For some people, that hard is running the first kilometer, the first 5 kilometers. It could be running the marathon, the half marathon, the Ironman. Not to compare your dreams with anybody else's. This was his dream. But what is your dream? What's going to stretch you to redefine what you're capable of? Because you are capable of so much more than you know. Again, the Iron Cowboy, fabulous speaker. He has a special on Netflix, so highly encourage you to take a look at that. He also has a book, The Iron Cowboy, Redefine Impossible. I'll have to tell you on a personal note, something that struck me is him and his wife, they have 5 kids. And when he did the 50 Ironmans, 50 days, 50 states, he did that with his family in tow. And it was such a reminder for me. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with having to take my 3 kids to the grocery store by myself. Never mind lugging 5 kids around a country in 50 days. But it just started to stretch my thinking about what's possible. Where am I putting those limitations on myself? And very much inspired me to dream bigger. So check out the Iron Cowboy. So many more lessons inside his keynote talk. And I'm so grateful to Benoit Wellness Consulting for bringing him to Edmonton. Here's a link to his YouTube channel. Go check him out. Be inspired like I was. And remember to start redefining what's possible for you. Here is to your success.